We got to become doers together of what God has asked us to do. There is no excuse acceptable. None. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to tell you that right now, because when you stand before God, you ain't going to say, Shane Breeding told me it's okay for me to be sick that night and miss the vision and not cast my net. You're not going to be able to say that. You're going to have to look at God and say, Shane Breeding told me that there was no excuse, Lord. And I just thought it was Shane Breeding. I didn't know it was you, Lord. I guess it was you, wasn't it? There's going to be a lot of people in the last days going to realize a lot of ministers, it wasn't them, it was Christ. There's going to be a lot of people. But if you really believe in the vision, if you really believe in it, you got to become a doer of the things that God is asking us to do. You got to pick up the hammer if He says pick up the hammer. You got to pick up the nail if He says pick up the nail. You got to cast the net to the right if He said cast the net to the right. If He says come to church on Friday night and pray for 24 hours, we don't have excuses. We'll call into work. We'll call off our appointments saying, that's what God said to do. Hey, I do need the $200, but, you know, that man's got all the money. What am I going to worry about it for? Just like Simon Peter. Man, I done washed them nets. Man, daggone it, I'm wore out, man. I want to go to bed. That's what he could have said, and he had a legitimate excuse in today's time. He really did. It would have been accepted in 99.999% of churches. I'm going to tell you right now, it won't be accepted in this one. Because I'm not going to baby in it. I'm not. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's not going to be accepted. I'm going to tell you. And if you hate me for the truth. I've already been hated for the truth. Me and my wife's hated for the truth, and that's fine. Jesus was too. That's okay. There's not going to be an excuse that's going to stand. And if people get mad at you over doing what God asked you to do, who's at fault? You or them? Who would you rather make happy, God or them? Which one are we, when we going to figure it out and grab hold of it? Are you really doing all you know to do to fulfill this vision that God has for this church? Are you? I'm not going to put you on the spot. You'll have to admit, I'm going to take you a little deeper in this right here in just a minute, and I'm going to put this church on a limb. And you either going to cut yourself off, and you're going to be the one that, like the idiot that cuts himself out of the limb and falls. Yeah. I'm going to make you do that. You're either going to cut yourself off and fall, or you're going to start building this vision. Because God is saying, I've had enough. I've given you all that you need to know. I've given you all the knowledge. And if you've got questions, I've done ask your pastor to come to you and say, come ask him. I give this man instruction and he knows when you've got questions, won't you call him and ask him? Instead of sitting there going, hey, you think I'm done all the weeks and you think I did it. Hey, there's a lot of things I still got to do. Oh, there's thousands of things I still got to learn. Millions of things God's going to teach me if I want. But there's thousands of things that we got to recognize, and we're going to have to come to the place that we realize that the vision is either going to come or it's not. And there cannot be no more excuses. No more excuses. It's going to be accepted. No matter what we do, we got so much to do. We got so many things to do. And I know everybody lives busy lives. This day is so big. But it's absolutely a tricky stuff. I mean, look here. I got a cell phone. It's so smart I can't use it. I can't use it. I mean, come on. I could spend days playing with this phone. learn how to play. We was talking today with one of my safety directors, and one of the guys there at our Boy Scouts, he's older than me, talking about playing Xbox, and he's wore out. That's kind of laughing. I said, that's funny, but it ain't. I said, you know, if I was a teenager like my son, you talking about fun, buddy. When you was 18, 19 years old to play with kids all across the world like that. But you know, I had funner days. I remember preaching my grandmother's funeral. Standing in the center of the world was my grandma was a football. The center of the world was my grandma's creek where her bloomers swimming. It was. It was, buddy. The center of the world, we didn't have much, buddy, to play with. But it was the center of the world. And my grandma could take a potato and whip it out the thing of the Lord, and it was great. Man, it was better than any Big Mac I ever ate. And she's gone. It was the center of the world. It was. But today we got everything to occupy us. Now God wants us to use some of it for His glory, and we're trying. But He does not want us to use it to occupy ourselves away from casting our net. And making a lame excuse that, man, I got to be on Facebook typing and talking to my friends. I got to be doing this, I got to be doing that. Don't get me wrong, a computer is a wonderful tool. It is. I use it all the time to study Bible. But when we use it to not cast our nets, then we're wrong. When we use it to be too busy to pick up the hammer that God asked us to pick up, we're wrong. Those simple days, that's why, you know, it was posed to me one time in Bible study. How come we sing the powers of God more back then than we do now? We're too busy. They could stay on the vision. They didn't have nothing else to do, so they might as well pick up the net. There wasn't nothing else to do. We're too busy now to pick up the net, guys. Is this true? Yeah. The only way this church is going to succeed, and I'm telling you as clear as I can put it to you, from God Almighty above, you got opportunity before you right now. It is. The field is ripe and ready to pick. But if you don't grab hold of what He gives, He's not going to take it there for you. He's not going to pick up the hammer for you. He's going to equip you with everything you need to get. He'll help you when you need it. But we got to make it. Remember what I told you? This part of the journey is going to require faith. It's going to require us to go forward with faith to fulfill this vision. But not with just words. Words ain't going to fulfill nothing when it comes to fulfilling God's vision. Words are good to speak to people. I'm not saying that. But you got to go before you can speak to them. Jesus had to go out on the boat so He could speak to all people on the land. His words are powerful. But this words of saying you're going to do it, in other words, what I'm saying, is not going to get this vision fulfilled. It's not going to get it to happen. And I'm telling you right now, don't be saying and let's not do it. Quit saying things or doing it. You're going to have to become doers of the words, what it says. Doers of the vision. Pick up the tools and go forward in the things that I do. Do you agree or disagree? Is this why you think the vision may not be happening because we're sitting and waiting on God? I see it in every church. You agree? Are we sitting and waiting on God to do it all? When He's done all He's going to do for us? Anyone?